podcast. You're here with myself and also James. And of course, we have a special guest. We have number 96, Sheffield Steeldogs defenceman, CJ Garcia. How you doing? You all right?
Good. Happy to be here.
Thanks for popping on. So basically, it's just the interview. I know you had one a couple of years back with, of course, Manchester Storm. Mm-hmm. So this is like an introduction to the NIHL, of course, to your fans in Sheffield and, of course, around the whole league. So have a catch up and get to know yourselves. So we jump straight into it. So you're from Canada, of course. And of course, tell us about what town and city you're from.
I'm from Toronto, like smaller. Like if you're from there, have ever been there, you'll probably have heard of it. It's called Pickering. It's on the east side. It's just on the outskirts of the GTA or Toronto area. So, basically the way I look at it, Toronto's pretty much a massive mecca for minor hockey because you have loads of people coming from the UK, you have people coming from Russia, you have people coming from all over the world just to play their minor hockey in, Toronto area because it's so heavily scouted. So that's the area I'm from. I grew up in Pickering. It's a smaller town just outside of Toronto. And just fell in love with the game there, honestly.
Honestly, that's like us. We've only got into it recently, haven't we? And it's
that last 4 years, 3-4 years, we just happened to stumble across the ice hockey. To be fair, on like a night out, and we went to watch Milton Keynes Lightning against Leeds Knights, and it was for the first two periods, Leeds were winning like 6-1, and we thought, oh great, this is the local team getting smashed to bits. And then in the third period, MK got it to overtime 6-6, and then Tim Wallace goes and bags in the overtime winner, and then at that point we were hooked, weren't we? So
most definitely, it's I don't watch football anymore. That's the thing. I don't really watch football. You see them guys going, like, come on, get up. These guys get hit in the face, everything, and they're back on.
No, exactly.
So so as you said, like, got into hockey in your hometown with it. So when you got into ice hockey, like, how did you know it was for you? And did you also try any other positions other than, of course, defenceman as well?
So basically, it's a funny story. So my parents are immigrants in Canada. So hockey was never on their radar. And, I first started playing with kids on the street. And then from there, it progressed. One of the parents went to my dad's, like, maybe you should put him in hockey. And then from there, it was quite good. And then one second, sorry, one second. From there, sorry, there's just a cat on the table. But from there, it just progressed, and they're like, you're actually doing quite well. Might as well. So I think I was around 7 or 8, and I started playing house league for the first time. And after that, I tried out straight from house league. That was my first year of ever playing ice hockey. From there, tried out for like the AAA team, and then I got cut I got cut in the last tryout, and then I played AA. And then from there on, I never looked back, and I played AAA. And I was playing multi-sport, so I was playing football, or in America, soccer. And ice hockey at the same time. And, I started to see more progression in, ice hockey for me than football. And, that's when I made the decision at, I think it was 15, 16, because I was playing quite a high level, but I loved ice hockey. You know what I mean? You just love something so much. You want to be there, spend most of your time doing it. And that was it for me. And that was at 15 or 14. And that's when I started getting scouted for the OHL and the USHL and, all these NCAA schools. So it was something I did not want to pass up on. That's for sure.
Of course. And of course, then your career and everything. And now you're here in England, and honestly, incredible.
So how was it like? Obviously, you've played in, I think, 6 different countries, obviously, which is amazing. It's great sort of going around the world playing hockey. How did you cope with like the cultural differences? Obviously, every country has different means of food, drink, and especially with the ice hockey, they might train different, they might do it differently. How did you adjust to that?
Honestly, you can't go in with a closed mind to anything, really. You know what I mean? Just like a lot of people, I feel like even, a lot of North Americans that come over and play in the UK, they have such a closed-minded or such a high standard, you know what I mean? And it's just like, everywhere you go in the world, something is going to be a little bit different. It's not going to be the exact same as you are. And it might be even a little better than what you're used to at home, just because, the fans here are just so into it. And, everywhere you go and across Europe, you have drums, you have this, you have that, you have, what do you call it? Not a tailgate, but like people come to the games early, have a few drinks, cheer on the team, get to know everyone in the arena setting. So it's quite nice, but it's very different all around, And when I was in France, we played games at 8 p.m. just because they have dinner later. You know what I mean? Like the French culture, they have dinner later, so we would play a lot later. Get home later. There was obviously wine after the games and stuff like that. So that was and then, like in Romania and Hungary, it was interesting. Honestly, some parts of the country are lovely, and some parts are a bit what you would think of. But all the people there, they're amazing people, especially where I played it. And they love the sauna, and they love to have a cold pint as well. So.
They do.
And Australia is just something completely different. Like just the atmosphere, the game of hockey is growing so much there as well. With the NIHL playing a few games there a few years ago, and honestly, it just keeps on growing. It was a lovely way to see the country as well. And Aussies, they're fun people, to be honest. Like it's after a good win, everyone will go out, have a drink in the bar in the rink, and everyone gets to meet each other. It's a really close knit community, and it's honestly, it's different everywhere you go, and you just got to embrace it at that point. Like you can't have a closed mind, because then that's when you just your mental health and everything just starts to dip in your play, and you just become a loner. You know what I mean?
As you said, Australia as well. Do you see any spiders up there?
I did. I'll never forget. So when you go over there, they have you on a certain visa where you have to work a little bit. And I remember I was in one of these yards, and they asked me to go pick up, one of these bins in the yards. I didn't do much, honestly. It's just something that's mandatory for the visa. So literally, you go over there, and I go move this bin, and there's a spider like this big, mate. It was insane. Yeah. It was insane. And then I saw a few snakes as well, but it didn't move. It didn't move too much, so.
That's not too bad. It's just I see a little spider, and I'm the one. I'm afraid of spiders. My wife gets them for me. That sounds bad.
Oh, man, yeah.
So and you've come from the Elite League, of course, Manchester Storm. So you can tell us about that, and what was it like there as well?
Manchester was great. Nothing bad to say about like what the organization, the club, the owner. Everything there it's pretty good. It's pretty top notch, but consistent with the rest of the league. I think the only thing everyone knows is the arena is not the best compared to Elite League standards. Mm-hmm. But other than that, like everything is great about the city's great. The organization, the fans, they come support you in the coldest nights in shelter. So honestly, it was really good, and we had a really good team. My first year, I think we came fourth or fifth, and last year we slipped a bit. But honestly, it was a great time. Learned a lot about the league and about the rest of the teams and the recruiting for it. So honestly, it was just amazing. I have nothing bad to say about Manchester.
No, because the level of, we've certainly know because we watched a couple of sort of Elite League games on like streams and things like that. I think the level of British hockey now is getting to a very, very good standard. So to attract players like yourself down to like the Elite League and now to the NIHL, I mean, it's huge. So hopefully in the next 5-10 years, the RGB squad and in just our league will be a lot more sort of watched, and hopefully that will lead to sort of better wins on the international stage. But no, it's huge getting players like yourself down to British hockey for sure.
No, yeah, honestly, I think it's great because, especially for the younger guys, especially in the NIHL, it's just, having people that from the Elite League, and, we can tell them what it takes to get there, what they need to do to get there, and, only try to help to better them, really. Like that's the biggest thing for me is, like, if they just, want to ask me questions or little things that they want to get to learn or try to get a little edge on other competition or other British players, then I'm more than welcome to help them, do that, because I think, the game needs to grow in England, and just, having players like myself or even a higher standard or more coaches will just, help it that much more and put it forward that much down the line.
Yeah. So as I said, the NIHL and everything, of course, like you're now with Sheffield Steeldogs. Congratulations and everything, because they're building something new at the minute. You got Slava as head coach, and got some very interesting players coming in, like yourself as an import.
The other three.
The other three as well, looking very strong. So going to Sheffield, so what was like your motive to go there? And of course, are you looking forward to it as well, the new challenge?
Yeah, for me, the motivation was, to still play ice hockey at a very competitive level and try to win a championship. And, I have more ties in Sheffield than just hockey, you know what I mean? So as a life point, it was, the better decision for me at this time, really, to play and to play in Sheffield. And honestly, what they're doing here and what they're building here, I really do believe that they're trying to build something special with, just developing, like we said, developing players with, we have the pathway now, from Scimitars to Dogs to Steelers. And, you can definitely see that, forming and, attracting more British players to come play hockey in Sheffield, which will be nice. And, it can only go up from here, especially with Tony Smith at the helm of everything. I just think, it can only go up from here, because what they've done with the Steelers is phenomenal. And, just to have that backing for the Dogs and the Scimitars is just going to help it even more.
Nah, most definitely.
I think we can all see that Sheffield's probably one of the best places for a youngster to go and learn your craft. And especially if you want to make it up to Steeldogs and then the Steelers, I mean, as a youth team player, it's probably going to be, one of the best, isn't it, to join because of the pathway. And it's good to see there's two ways. Obviously, Steeldogs are in the middle, so there's a couple of two ways up to Steelers, a couple of two ways down to the Scimitars and things. And that's just, I say it's great to see, because I think that's the only club in the country that really have that three-way pathway to the Elite League. So, as I say, having players like you that have had that experience in the Elite League to drop down to speak to the youngsters, as you were saying earlier, I mean, that's huge. That's huge for them, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's honestly all information. Even when I skate with a few of them in the summer here, it's just they're always asking questions or little things just to, get the edge or to help out, because they really were never taught like that. Obviously, people taught them how to shoot a puck and try to skate kind of, but it's not really the same as the type of training that you would do in North America or say Czech or Sweden or Finland. So it's a bit different, and it's going to take time to build and for the players to, really accept what it takes to, be a professional.
Yeah, no, for sure. And obviously going to the Steeldogs, obviously the season is getting very close now. I think pre-season's only probably about 4 weeks away. Do you have any personal goals for yourself throughout the season? As you know, as you said, as a team goal, you're looking to pick up silverware, which I think you're going to be competitive to do. So is there anything in mind that you want to achieve yourself, really, this season?
As a team, for sure, we want to compete for trophies. Every team is, if you look around the league, every team can or has a chance to win every night now, especially with the added extra import, and there's going to be some tight games, and I feel like it's really going to come down to the wire for cup, for league, and for playoff, because it's whoever shows up that night. And individually, I'm a pretty humble person. I just want to win at the end of the day, and that's for me helping my team. If it's getting a lot of assists or a lot of goals or blocking shots or whatever, having to step up for the teammates in a fight, then yeah, I'll do that in that way. You know what I mean? It's just it's not personal. At the end of the day, you want to win trophies, and I haven't won one in England. The last time I won a trophy was when I was playing in Romania, and so I know that feeling, and it feels amazing. So, I got jealous. I was kind of watching the NIHL playoffs at the end of my season, and I know watching Milton Keynes and Leeds Knights just take over basically. Like as signing for Sheffield now, those are the teams that we're going to look after. Especially Bristol and Swindon, those are really good teams, in Hull as well. So
yeah,
there's a bunch now to look out for, and you got to show up every night, unless you're going to end up in the losing end.
It's massively competitive now, as you say, with the fourth import. I mean, last year was very competitive for the top four teams, and then, as you say, MK Leeds kind of just not run away with it, but you saw that the gap was quite big. And I think this season, as you say, it's going to be tight. I think every position, whether it will be fighting for the title, the lead, the cup, playoffs. I mean, it's going to be massive. I think with that. So I think we're all very excited to see how it works.
No, it's definitely, and of course, you as a player, typical question for all hockey players. Do you have any pre-game rituals for yourself before you set on the ice and on the day as well? Anything you do special?
No pre-game rituals. I just honestly, I like to eat the same thing. I think if you ask anyone in Manchester, they'll tell you I eat the same thing every time. It's it sounds pretty bad, but it works for me. I eat one meal a day. I eat at say we play at 7, I'll eat at 12:30, always on the dot. And it's like tortellini and garlic bread. I think I gotta eat that. That's my go. I know everyone's you gotta eat chicken, rice, and sweet potatoes, but you can't go wrong with the pasta. For me, I'm old school like that, and I cross the sauces as well. Get the marinara and the white sauce together. So
I like that.
Yeah, no, we're big food. We're big foodies.
We are. I've got a beer belly.
We enjoy our food and drink too much. I think
was it one player that said he eats beans and toast?
Beans and toast. Yeah, it was. We do a couple of the lower leagues for Milton Keynes, and we do sort of similar to what we've done with you guys. Yeah. But obviously in person, and some of the youngsters. I mean, I think their choice of meal before a game is quite. Seems quite scary, like beans on toast. So that is something. But so going on to your game, sort of what approach do you take, sort of mentally going on the ice? Sort of, if it's obviously, I mean, every game's a big game, but especially with the Yorkshire Derby, so Hull, Leeds, sort of teams like that. How do you prepare mentally, sort of slightly different, sort of especially when you're in the elite league, but sort of local derbies?
No, not really. Not for me. For me, it's just, you try to, throughout the year, you not try to go up and down. You want to stay, as mainstream as you can. And, if you just got to show up to every game, really. But those games are definitely bigger games for us. And it was the same thing when I was in Manchester. We played Sheffield. Those are massive games that we looked at because the biggest rivalry. But I know definitely I've been to a game in Hull last year to go watch my buddy Johnny Cornell. It was against Sheffield, and the derbies and the fans in Hull are a bit crazy, and they definitely get up for their team. And I played that charity game in Leeds, and there's a bunch of Leeds fans that showed out, and it was interesting because they're asking me a lot of questions about myself and why I've made the decision I have to come play in Sheffield, and it was just honestly, it's just going to be fun beating them. To be honest, it's going to be really fun beating them in Leeds hopefully this year, and because I know they get a really good showing, so that will be those derbies will definitely be interesting.
Well, as MK fans, we hope you put Leeds to the sword. That for sure.
I'm actually looking forward to seeing you guys facing Lightning.
Yeah.
Because it's always been very competitive. Like even at the playoffs from last season, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like I know we won. Was it 5-1 at your ring?
I can't remember. Yeah.
We did, yeah. That's because you had a few drinks, didn't you?
Yeah. Probably, no doubt.
But the thing was, even regardless, even then last year, they still brought the game to us. Yeah. It was very hard to get past you, and of course now, as I said, you're even more stronger. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be good games.
You got like Patrick Forsberg, you got Jordan Spadafor, James Griffin you'd be up against. So it'd be nice to see what you guys do.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be entertaining hockey.
No, yeah, it'll definitely be good games. Like I definitely look at Sheffield games from last year, and the biggest standout to me is just we're gonna have to play everyone, and it's not gonna be just one or two lines. It's gonna be the whole group collectively to win games, and I think that was the biggest downfall last year is that we just didn't play 4 lines, and you guys played 4 lines, and I remember watching that game and just being out coached a bit. So hopefully with Slava in and having a concrete system and with guys hungry to have a change and win some titles again, I think it'll definitely be a very competitive game.
No, it's different. And the thing is, I do hope you guys do win something this season.
Yeah, because Sheffield of old, I mean, probably the year before or maybe within the year when we first started, I mean, Sheffield were always up there trying to win the league. They obviously went and beat us in the final on playoffs as well, quite convincingly in Coventry. So yeah, to see Steeldogs fighting for silverware is nothing but great for the league and for the city of Sheffield to have 2 very good teams fighting out again would be in their sort of prospective leagues. So yeah, we're really looking forward to see what you guys do this year.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. I'm excited for the season. Honestly, we're about almost a month and a little bit away, and excited for preseason and get to know everyone a little bit more in Sheffield here. And I've been living here over the summer, so just looking forward to getting to know some of the imports coming in and just gelling together and being with the boys again. You can't really beat it. You definitely miss it over the summer.
It was really the banter and the changing rooms and all that. So
yeah, no, it's good. Sheffield have got a very good fan base as well on theirs.
Especially the kids, they absolutely adore the players.
Yeah,
honestly, you do see it and everything. And of course, their mascot as well. He's lovely.
Yes, yeah, Steeldog, isn't it? I can't remember. But that's cool. So obviously, you said sort of cutting nearly to the end now. You see the advice that you gave the youngsters, they come and see you, you talk to them. So. So what sort of is the best advice that you could give a young ice hockey player? Maybe they're watching the video sort of today. What advice would you give them if they're looking to start out or if they're sort of not that confident yet? What would you normally say to them?
I would say just as what I say when we do our little 5-on, just a session when we do it, it's just 5 people on ice. It doesn't matter if you fail because you're just going to have to keep on trying. If you're trying that turn or you're trying that shot, it's only going to take practice. And if you enjoy it and if you love it, you're going to keep on practicing. So just always have fun. You can see me out there. I'm always smiling when I'm playing. So just if you're enjoying it, then it won't feel like hard work or practice or, you know what I mean? So that's my advice for them. Just, enjoy it as much as you can. And if you can pick up little things from top players in the elite league or the NHL or SHL or whatever league that you fancy, there's always little things you could pick up on, and and if you have any questions, feel free to ask me on social media or anything. I'm more than happy to reach out because I know a lot of people have questions too. So
yeah,
that's nice.
That's nice to hear. Yeah, sure.
Definitely. So, last question to finish it all: is there anything you'd like to say to, of course, the fans
For Sheffield.
for Sheffield's for the upcoming season?
Go Dogs, go! And I hope we win 3 trophies.
Let's hope so. On there. So, yeah, no, thank you very much for jumping on, TJ. We really appreciate that.
No,
I know you've got a busy schedule and things like that. So, yeah, we really appreciate it. And what we must do is when we go up to Sheffield quite a bit, when MK are up there, or when you come down here, we've got to grab a photo with you and things when you are down. So definitely we'll message you and try and get that to happen.
Yeah, definitely. Just send me a message on social media, and I'll come out and see you guys anytime.
Yeah, that's really good. So
CJ.
We'll let you wrap that up then.
Yeah, so that is a wraps. That is Lightning Lads. And of course, thank you again, CJ, for jumping on. There we go. Thank you.
Please like and subscribe. Helps us do videos like this for CJ and for more in the future. So thank you very much for watching, guys. And we'll see you soon.
Thank you very much.